Let's swing my mic over here. Oh, hello everybody. Hope everybody's had a good Thursday. Hope everybody's doing all right. Sitting here looking up stuff on my computer. I hope everybody's doing all right. Hello Jennifer. Hello Alicia. Nice to see you both here tonight. See, I got probably other people in chat. Not sure how many people I got in chat tonight. Let's go take a look over here. And let's swing my mic over here. Oh, listen. See, now you can hear me too. Oh, listen to that horrible echo. Man, you gotta listen to my voice twice. Sorry, you guys. So let's see. I got 7 people watching, 6 people watching, a few people watching tonight. So, for those that don't know, this is a live show. Candid, very candid, off the cuff. Willing to answer any questions anybody's got. Let me open up my Skype so I can take calls tonight. Just so you know, the number on the screen, for those that are calling, that would like to call in, let me see what scene you're going to see if I go to this button right here. Okay, there's my Amazon page. All right, so I just want to make sure if people call, their phone number don't get blasted all over the screen because I don't want people, spamming anybody. But anyway, if you want to call in, ask a question on the phone, if it's easier for you to deal with a phone call, don't hesitate to give me a call. We'll answer any questions you got. So, Brian says, can't tell you how good Crossfire worked. Thank you. I have one room that I needed to do twice. Real tricky to smuggle into Canada. Yes. I don't like to promote illegal activity. But people have been known to do that. Get the chemical that they need to do the job. But honestly, back, I don't know if it still is or not, but back when they outlawed chlordane, that was one of the #1 chemicals smuggled into the U.S. People were going and getting it over, they were still making it, manufacturing it down in Mexico, and so people would smuggle chlordane over the border to kill their termites. It's just what happened. So, which leads me to talk about termites. So I want to address this top in the very beginning of the video. I want to talk about this for people that watch this later on, and they're looking back through, and they're, because I save all the VODs, all my live streams. You can go back and watch them as many times as you want. They're always there. And I wanted to talk about termites. We're coming up on termite season. I know it's January, but termite season in Virginia can sometimes start as early as late February into March. And I had a guy come on, and he's been, I don't know, guy probably just doesn't know, or he's just fallen for a lot of the hype and the rigmarole that exterminators do when they don't understand how things work. But I wanted to talk about how to get rid of termites. And I know it's a bedbug show, but I just wanted to go over this really quick. Won't take 5 minutes. When I've been in termite control for 34 years. And, people are laughing. Oh, let me tell you, I'm wearing this hat. Okay, I'm wearing this hat tonight because it snowed in Virginia back Monday. I couldn't work Monday because there was about 8 inches of snow on the ground, between 6 and 8 inches of snow on the ground. And so I'm wearing my snow hat. This is my hat. I've had it for several years. I've had it probably 10, 15 years. And I just wanted you to know that I'm warm. I do have power. Obviously, I have power. But I'm wearing this hat so I can be cute and sweet. So, anyway. Let's see. Let me answer questions. I'll talk about termites in a minute. But if you're on the VOD and you're watching this and you need to know about termites, stay tuned. I'll talk about termites in a little bit. But Pepperidge Farm says, I think I'm going to have to spray again. Can't seem to get rid of these bugs. So I'm interested to see what's going on, Pepperidge, if you've done something wrong or maybe you're continuing to bring them in your house. Normally that's what's happened with me. So in my experience, now I'm a professional. I've been killing bed bugs for a long time, over 20 years. I've been killing bed bugs since I was 17. I just turned 40, for those that don't know. I just turned 40. And I've been killing bed bugs for a really long time. And every single time, every single time that I have a callback on bed bugs, it is usually, I mean, like I said, every time, because of reinfestation from either a vehicle, a friend, or a family member that, you know, you may not know have them. They may not know they have them. In fact, it's really common to, and thank you, TikTok. Somebody on TikTok said that they like my hat. But it's really common for people to have bed bugs for months and never know they have them, because not everyone reacts from a bed bug bite, and just because they're getting bit, they may not even know they're getting bit, and then they're carrying them around with them and not knowing they're doing it. And so that does happen. It's really common, and it's possible that that's what's going on. You may have them at work. They may be coming in on shipments. If you're getting like Instacart deliveries or Amazon deliveries, Amazon, I know, has been hiring people just because they've been trying to keep up on shipments, because we just came out of Christmas. A lot of people have been working to Amazon. I actually had white vans driving down the road to my house delivering Amazon packages. I don't know if the van had not marked. I saw a FedEx truck the other day that wasn't FedEx. They were actually renting a U-Haul. All right, so this is the problem, is if your delivery guy is in a U-Haul truck and they just went and did, let's say the U-Haul was used by somebody who moved their whole bedroom suite, and then FedEx goes in, gets a U-Haul truck, and starts delivering packages with it, it's very possible that the back of that U-Haul truck would have bed bugs in it. And so there's lots of ways that you can bring bed bugs in and out of your home. It's a possibility that if you live in an apartment, they're coming from a neighboring unit, where they are doing a lot of stuff that I talk bad about on my channel, like diatomaceous earth, store-bought pesticides, because most store-bought pesticides, and like I said, DE as well, are very highly repellent to bed bugs. So your bed bugs will actually be coming from neighboring units where people are going in there treating with highly repellent pesticides and repellent measures, because they're trying to keep the bugs off of themselves, which is what repellents are for, to keep the bed bugs off of you. But what it does is it forces them into neighboring units, neighboring apartments, to where they can get a blood meal. And so that's a really common thing with people that, and maybe you're doing things differently. So I'll tell you another thing that happened to me recently. Actually, it's been a couple years. But I did a job out in Northern Virginia, and the lady was putting interceptors underneath her bed after I would treat. And come to find out that the bed bugs weren't actually coming out to crawl through the chemical, because she had interceptors between her and the bed bugs. So the bed bugs would not actually come out until after she removed the interceptors from the bottoms of her bed legs, and then the bed bugs died. And so there are these things, that these little tidbits of information that you can find over YouTube that actually don't work. You know, when people go in and they advise you to buy mattress encasements, they advise you to buy, interceptor traps and things like that for bed bugs. They're really cheap. They don't cost very much money. People are willing to spend the money on these devices because it's not a big investment. Even diatomaceous earth, you can get a whole 5-pound bag for less than $20. It's not very expensive. And so it's a really common thing for people to go and try these things, and then they're still doing it when they're applying Crossfire, and so the Crossfire just won't work then. Son moved out in October. I found bed bugs in his room around Thanksgiving, ordered Crossfire before it even got here. I was down with COVID until a week ago. Let's see. I've been getting random bites all over my body for almost 2 years. I don't know what to do. It may not be bed bugs too. You know, if you don't see bed bugs, don't assume that's what it is. Galaxy Lover asked if people are using Crossfire. I recommend Crossfire. Everybody on the channel does not use Crossfire. Some people use Tempered. Some people hire out exterminators to come and use Apprehend. All the pesticides I typically list, unless I say otherwise, work. It's just that some work to different degrees. So like Tempered will kill bed bugs. Actually, bed bugs have started to develop an immunity to Tempered, a resistance to it. But I have known of people that have used it and been successful. You have to treat like every 2 weeks. You can't treat like once a month with Crossfire. So you're having to constantly take everything apart and pull everything out, do on laundry and everything like you have to do in order to do bed bugs every like week and a half to 2 weeks. You have to use Tempered. And so I don't usually recommend Tempered. I recommend Crossfire. If you can't get Crossfire, like in Canada, if you live in Canada and you want somebody to come in, you want to hire somebody, recommend that they use Apprehend, because Apprehend is available in Canada where Crossfire is not, and Apprehend is as successful, if not more successful, than Crossfire. So it's actually very successful at getting rid of bed bugs. Termites ate my old garage. Let's see. Well, I'm not looking forward to fruit flies again this year. I'm looking forward to trying out your little funnel. That works. And I showed pictures to prove that works. So for those that are interested, I actually have a video on my channel. If you search fruit flies, you'll see a trap that I made. And I show exactly how to make it. And at the end of the video, I actually show how many fruit flies I caught in less than 24 hours. Actually, it's probably only 12 hours because it's just overnight. I had a whole cup full of fruit flies, and they couldn't get out. They were all stuck in there. So if you're interested and you're having problems with fruit flies, go check that video out. My dad got them, and I'm trying to get rid of them for him. How do you get them out of vehicles? I treat with Crossfire. Crossfire can be treated pretty much anywhere you want, really. I mean, there are specific places on the label it says not to treat. But, in fact, we can go over the label of Crossfire if anybody's interested. I know I've done it a lot on my channel. And so if we don't have to, if you don't want to, but if you guys want to go over the label of Crossfire, I can. Let's see. Can rats live in an attic without a source of food? Yes, they can. They can get food from somewhere else. They can go outside and get food. They don't have to get food from you. In fact, a lot of times rats will come in, mice will come in, and they'll start living in a house, and they're actually not getting food from you. They're getting food from outside. They're getting food from berry plants and bushes and stuff outside, and they're not actually eating anything in your house. They're just using your house to nest in. I've seen it a lot. That actually is really common. And there are chances that they might be getting in and getting little crumbs and stuff like that you've dropped, and you just don't realize it because it's just stuff that maybe fell underneath your stove, or that the rats can't get into. I mean, you can't find it because under your stove. In fact, it's really common when I go to a house, I do like a roach clean out, and I pull a stove out away from the wall. I find all kinds of breadcrumbs and all kinds of stuff underneath the stove. So, let's see. I don't recommend bedlam because the bed bugs have started to develop an immunity to bedlam. Crossfire is way more effective. Actually, the company that created Crossfire also created bedlam. Bedlam they are developing an immunity to it, which is why they started to develop Crossfire. Crossfire is basically a replacement to bedlam, but you could try bedlam. If it doesn't work, I would use Crossfire. Let's see. I thought that too. So I lifted up bed last year. I found a bed bug. I threw everything out. I'm still getting bites. You probably have them hidden down around the baseboards. They do hide around baseboards. This guy does not know what he's talking about. So it's easy. I'm sorry. It's easier for me to time people out than to just let them continue to babble nonsensical BS in the chat. But bed bugs do not live in carpet. So if you have fleas in your carpet, fleas will live in your carpet. Bed bugs do not live in your carpet. Bed bugs live around the baseboards, around where the carpet meets the baseboard, around tack strips. They will burrow down and live underneath the tack strips. They live underneath the baseboards. They live underneath shoe molding, places like that. They don't like, and I've gone over this before. I actually did a video where I did drawing with Jason, and I showed the actual places bed bugs like to travel. They do not like to travel in the middle of the floor. They avoid the middle of the floor. They do not travel through that area. They travel around the baseboards. They actually get up off of the floor. They don't like vibration. So if you have steady vibrations where you're walking back and forth, and it's a constant place that you're going to be walking and traveling through, bed bugs will not live there. Bed bugs do not live in the middle of the room. They live near bed legs. They live on the bed frame itself, around headboards, footboards, bed rails, baseboards, crown molding, curtain rods, up off of the ground, not on the ground. So the baseboard, Willie asked, what is a baseboard? The baseboard is the trim that goes all the way around the base of your wall. So where your sheetrock or your panel board or whatever your wall is made out of, it goes all the way down to the floor. That little piece of decorative trim that goes all the way around the edge of the base of the floor, that is a baseboard. And that usually sits right on top of your carpet, hardwood floor. And sometimes it's just a little piece of rubber, like a little rubber trim piece. But right there, those are places that bed bugs like to hide. Let's see, what can I use inside and outside for big roaches in Georgia? There's a good, in fact, if you go and you read, you go to my YouTube channel, I actually have videos on roaches and how to eliminate roaches. But I usually, I can't remember, the best thing that I use Alpine WSG for roaches. It works really well for roaches, inside, outside. But typically on the outside of a home, I use like permethrin-based pesticides, like a cypermethrin or permethrin. They're very good as a repellent. And so that's usually what I use around the outside of a home, bifenthrin, something like that. Let's see. Tore up carpet. Yeah, you don't need to tear up the carpet to get rid of bed bugs. And you really don't need to tear up carpet to get rid of fleas either. The fleas are going to come up to bite you. They can't get a blood meal from the carpet. They get a blood meal from you. And so even fleas that burrow down and live down inside the carpet, they're not going to live there forever. They're going to come up and they're going to try to bite you. And if you treat the surface of the carpet with something like Alpine WSG as a residual, they'll die. And that's usually what I recommend for fleas, actually. Since I started using Alpine, I haven't had any problems with fleas. Let's see, I have all hardwood floors, so I'm hoping that I can treat the baseboards all around the trim and molding. That's all that you have to do. That works. That works really well. You treat all the trim, molding, even window moldings. I've found bed bugs living around the window frames. Treat all that in every crack. If there's a crack, just treat in there. It doesn't hurt to do it. The way that I was raised and the way that I was taught how to get rid of bed bugs or roaches or ants even, is if you don't treat in the crack, the bugs are going to be in the crack. So just assume that they're going to be there if you don't treat there. Don't be like, I don't know if they're in there or not. Just do it. Well, what does it hurt? Just do it. It takes like a couple little squirts here and there. So let's see. Yeah, Pepperidge Farm's giving good advice about how to mix Crossfire. Let's see. This guy says, I love your stuff. You've helped me and my family. Great. That's good. That's from TikTok. I wanted to mention that I had somebody. All right, so I'm not going to show the video because I was told I could, but I'm not going to show the video because it was sent to me through Facebook Messenger. A girl, not sure how old she was, but she's a little girl, like maybe the age of my son. My son's like 17. He'll be 17 in a couple weeks. Either maybe 17, 16, maybe even younger than that. Sent me a video thanking me because she had bed bugs. She got bed bugs from a family member. I believe it was a family member. And they had them for a long time, couldn't get rid of them. And they tried everything from diatomaceous earth. They were using, and it's not cheap. For people who can't afford bed bug treatment, they can't afford a lot of things. And they're trying their best to be able to afford the treatment. Even Crossfire at $50 a bottle is a lot. It's a steep, charge for them. And so it's easy to fall into this, interceptors on the foot of the bed for, $3 a leg or something like that. They're pretty cheap. And they figure that maybe that'll work. And that's cheap. It's affordable. But it's not good. It's actually not affordable because it's a waste of money. And you can't afford to waste your money when you're dirt poor. And I know what it's like. I've been there. I lived in the projects. I used to live in the projects. When I lived in Bedford City, I lived in the projects. And so I know what it's like to have nothing and to come from nothing. And so she messaged me and she sent me a video, just like I'm doing a video on TikTok, just like I'm doing a video here on YouTube. She sent me a video saying that she was able to have family over for Christmas because they got rid of their bed bugs using Crossfire. And so it's a very good pesticide. It's I have a lot of experience. I've been doing this all my life. Since I was 6 years old, I've been doing pest control. If people like, these little girl can go on Amazon and her mother buy Crossfire, treat their bed, and kill their bed bugs and have no professional help except for what they see on my YouTube channel, it is a very good, high quality chemical. You can't tell me that stuff doesn't work. Most of the time when it doesn't work, it's either misapplication, not proper mixing, not following your mixing directions properly, or you're reinfesting the house, like I said earlier. So, how long is Crossfire good for after it's mixed? 24 hours. Let's see. Ramsey says, thank you for what you do. You're welcome. Wallace, I'd answer, but I'd leave it for Jason. Let's see, Wallace. Oh, yeah. 24 hours. Let's see. This may be a dumb question. That's okay. I say dumb stuff all the time. But is it okay to use fans to dry room? Yeah, like ceiling fans. Ceiling fans are good. That works. It won't hurt the efficacy of the chemical if it dries fast. It's fine. In fact, people will do that. They'll say, well, can I leave a ceiling fan on and so it'll dry faster? And I'm like, yeah, sure, it's fine. It doesn't take that long to dry, really. Yeah, and Pepperidge Farm answered, says 24 hours once mixed. Shake well, especially if it's been sitting for a while. That's true. This hat's starting to itch me. That's starting to get itchy. I thought it'd be funny, but it's really hot, like especially around my ears, because I got these noise canceling things on. It gets real hot. Like my ears are just really hot. But I'm trying to keep it on as long as I can because I'm trying to prove a point about Virginia being cold. It's not really that cold right now. It's my possibility of ice tonight and tomorrow. But we had snow, like I said earlier in the week, and I re-released. So if you watching my TikTok, back when maybe, I don't know, how long has it been? 4 years, maybe 5 years. I did a video from a Facebook Live, and I showed people how to make a milk sandwich. And so the joke is that everybody runs out to the grocery store whenever there's a snowstorm to buy bread and milk. They always buy bread and milk. And now here where I live, snow lasts a day. I mean, I got out the very next day. I mean, Monday, I didn't leave Monday because it was really icy, really snowy, and it was really cold, and I just didn't want to leave out. And I felt like I could do 2 days in one. So Tuesday, I went out and did 2 route days. But I was able to get out Tuesday, no problem. So people can't go without bread and milk. They'll buy 2 or 3 loaves of bread, a couple gallons of milk, go home, make yourself a milk sandwich, and just chow down on that thing. That's just so good. And so I did a cooking show where I used a green screen behind me and made it look like I was in like Rachel Ray's kitchen. And I cooked up I just took a butter knife and I stuck it in the milk and I spread it on the bread and put the bread together, and then I ate it on camera like those weird mukbangs people do nowadays. And it was just comedy, you know. But 2018 is when I did that, so it's been a few years. But anyway, if y'all want to go and see that, it's a milk sandwich. It's on TikTok. I got the recipe. But let's see. Take it off. It looks stupid. The hat. Let's see. Probably above freezing. Yeah, I am above freezing. I think, let me see. It says my computer, I got this Windows 10 computer, and it's supposed to tell me what the weather. Yeah, it says it's 41 degrees outside right now, so it's not that cold. It's really not. Actually, I don't even wear a coat in 40s and 30s even. I think it feels good. I like cool weather. Bugs aren't that bad. You know, it's not the best for business, but I like it. I like cool weather. I don't like be hot. I'm very hot-natured. Wisconsin, we see that kind of stuff all the time during the winter. Yeah. Let's see. I got family that live in Wisconsin. Well, my wife has family that live in Wisconsin. Let's see. Yeah, well, I bought this hat. I bought this hat from, I think it was Ross, and I got 2 of them. I don't know what happened to the second one. This is the only one I had left, and I bought it like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. I've had it for a long time. But I wear it all the time. When I go out, I shovel the driveway. If I go out and shovel the sidewalk, if I go, do anything outside where it's cold, I wear it because I don't like when my ears get cold. I hate when my ears get cold. What other pesticide can I use for German roaches beside Alpine and Demon? Demon and Alpine is what I like. I like to use Demon as a clean out chemical because you chase out all kinds of roaches. And then I use Alpine on my follow-ups. I have done initials with Alpine too, and done really good. It does really good on initials. The thing is I don't really have to do much chemical rotation with Alpine because it just works so well that usually after 1 or 2 treatments, I'm done. The roaches are dead, gone. On houses where people are continuing to bring roaches in, which it does happen, very common. In fact, typically people who get roaches always get roaches because their family have roaches, the places they visit, their patron have roaches, restaurants and stuff they go to have roaches, and they constantly go back to these places and bring them back in the house. And so on those houses, I usually just rotate through the 2. But I've used, orthene. Does anybody here know what orthene is? Orthene is I'm making a joke. I'm really making a joke for people who know what orthene is. But, there's lots of different pesticides out there that you can use just in rotation. But I would use Alpine #1. That's the #1 best one out there right now. And I use baits. And I think I actually feel like I'm more successful when I rotate my baits. So, like, when you've got, Vendetta and Advion and Max Force, several different ones. If you just rotate them through, once a month, use a different bait. Now, I don't use bait if the bait hasn't been eaten. So if the roaches have come along and you'll see, like if you put bait up like around compressor motors and stuff, maybe inside a wall outlet, and you come and you take that cover back off to the switch plate, and you'll see the bait is gone. You need to note everywhere you use bait. Don't just put it around haphazardly anywhere. Make sure you know where it is, so when you come back and you check on that bait, you know it's either still there or it's gone. And if it's still there, I don't reapply. I might find a new place to put it. And I'm like, well, maybe the roaches aren't finding it there. Let me put some a little bit somewhere else. So, but I may not rotate then. Because, if they haven't taken the bait, it means they haven't. They'll eat it. Even if they're resistant to it, they'll still eat the bait. And it may not kill them, but they'll eat it still. Corey says, thank you for your videos. Oh, you're welcome. I thank you for watching. I like to do this. This is fun for me. I like pest control. I'm weird. So, I've been in it all my life, and I guess it takes a certain type of person to just sit here and talk about bugs all day, but I work all day, every day. I'm 24-hour pest control business in Lynchburg, Virginia, and I just work all the time. And when I come home, I edit videos. I put videos up for you guys to see, and I like to do it. This is what I like to do. And it's funny, I'll be sitting at the couch beside my wife. I have my iPad open. I'll be editing a video and everything, and she'll look over at me. She says, what are you doing? I'm editing a video. Oh, you're working. I'm like, no, this is my hobby. I can do pest control as a hobby, and I can do pest control when I work. I just like it. This is what I like to do. So I was actually thinking on TikTok, I might actually start a little bit of an art thing going, because I like to draw, and I thought it would give me a reason to start back up with my artwork, because I haven't done it in a long time, but I like to draw. Let's see. Will pretty much any pump sprayer do for Crossfire? I might be overthinking this part. Well, the problem with pump sprayers is the plastic ones especially. Not all plastic sprayers. If you are a manufacturer of a lawn and garden sprayer, you don't care if the tip of the sprayer drips a little bit, because you're spraying it outside anyway. If you're spraying Roundup or even like some permethrin or something around your garden or something like that, if it drips on the ground, well, that's where you're spraying it anyway. Who cares? But if you're spraying inside your house and you're using pesticide inside your house, you just don't want that crap spraying all over the floor. You don't want it dripping and running all over the place. And so the problem with the plastic sprayers is you may be able to get a couple of uses out of one, but they start leaking almost as soon as you put the liquid in it. They just don't work that well to hold the liquid. Maybe some people in chat in YouTube can actually advise that have actually done this treatment, what kind of sprayer you used that worked the best for you in getting rid of your bed bug problem or even roaches or whatever you're trying to spray for. Because I use a B&G. The sprayer I use is a B&G. It's like a $350 a piece of equipment, and it's very expensive. It's a professional. It's last ever since I've been in business, last 6 years, it's worked. My dad still has a B&G from the 80s when he started his company. It still works. So they're going to last a lifetime. They last a really long time. They're a really good piece of equipment. And there's really nothing that compares to a B&G brand sprayer. But that being said, not everybody can afford $350 for a sprayer either. And so usually I just recommend people to, look on Amazon, buy something with 5 stars, a 5-star plastic sprayer. I even have one listed on my Amazon page. Let's see if I can share that screen with you. If you go to, let's see, by the way, you should like the stream. I got 21 people watching and only got 6 likes. So you guys need to like my stream. But anyhow, if you go to my Amazon stream and you my Amazon page, and you scroll down to bed bugs, let's see, where's the bed bug ones? There it is. I put this sprayer here. This is a pretty highly rated sprayer. I think that's a 2-gallon sprayer, but you'd want a 1-gallon, not a 2-gallon. I don't know why I put a 2-gallon sprayer on there, but it's pretty highly rated. And so I usually recommend those. It's 4.5 stars. It's hardly got any one. It's got 4% 1 star, 1% 2 star, 4% 1 star, 4% 3 star, 13 4. This is out of 1,600 ratings. Most everybody's given it 5 stars. So that's why I recommend that sprayer. I figured it's got a metal wand, and it should work for what you want to do if you're just trying to kill bed bugs. It's not very expensive either. It's like, what is it? It's what is it? How much is it? That's not telling me. Oh, this is pretty cheap. It's pretty expensive. That's $81. Yeah, you may not want to get that one. Maybe we'll get something cheaper. Let's look at this one down here. This is a 2-gallon sprayer too. Where's the 1-gallons? Do they have a 1-gallon option down here? Let's see. There's one. Well, that's not going to be good. Those are those Chapman ones. They're not very good. See that plastic tip? That's a piece of garbage. That'll break. That will leak. But see, it says gardening, landscaping, pest control, but maybe it only means outdoor pest control. Although that's a picture of, that looks like bed bugs, either bed bugs or box elder bugs. I don't know what those bugs are. They don't look like bed bugs. It's something similar to bed bugs. Anyway, so okay, so somebody says, why are they still getting bit by bed bugs? I applied Crossfire to my box spring. Do not use diatomaceous earth. All right, these guys says before I was using diatomaceous earth. Don't use DE. Vacuum that crap up. Get rid of it. But when you treat with Crossfire, understand it's not an instant fix. No pest control is. If I came in your house and I was spraying for ants, I would tell you this is not going to work instantly. You're going to still have ants that are crawling from outside that have not gotten into the chemical yet, that have to come in and crawl through the chemical to die. They don't die right away. Bed bugs, not all the bed bugs come out every day. You'll have some bed bugs come out today, some bed bugs come out tomorrow, even more bed bugs come out the third day. And so every single bed bug is not available when the chemical is sprayed. So they have to come out and crawl through it, which is why Crossfire lasts for 30 days. It's not just going to be sprayed one and done one day and you're finished. It's one of those things where you spray and then you wait an allotted time, and then eventually all of the bed bugs will crawl out, all of the bed bugs will die in the chemical. But it takes days, sometimes weeks, for all of the bed bugs to die. So just because you treated your box spring, yesterday or even a week ago, you are still going to be seeing bed bugs today. It's not been long enough. You haven't allowed enough time between your first treatment and your second treatment, if you even need one at all. Typically, you treat once, and then you give it a whole month, maybe even a month and a half before you treat again. And then if you need to treat again, treat again. But be patient. I know that bed bugs bite you. I know they're obnoxiously annoying. It does take a little bit of time to get rid of them. Be patient. They will all die eventually, but be patient. I mean, I've had people come in here and say they've used Crossfire every day of the week or 4 days out of a week. That is excessive. It's against the label, and it's not something that I recommend doing. Even the label of Crossfire itself recommends once a week at the closest together, but that the chemical lasts for 30 days. So you could do it once a month, once every 30 days. You don't have to do it every week. What is that banging? Oh, that's loud. My wife's making vegetables. She's cutting a veggie tray. So, I like veggies. I have to. I'm vegan. I have to like them a lot. It was funny. We went to the grocery store tonight, and we bought like $200 worth of just produce. But stuff's gone up at the grocery store. Stuff is not as cheap as it used to be. And I'm like, well, she's like, well, I think we need to get this and this and the rest of the store, and then we're done. And I'm like, yeah. So we spent like an hour in produce, just picking out like squash and zucchini and lettuces and all the stuff that we eat, because we're like, you know, we just graze, I guess is what you call it. So I watched a video on a DIY bedbug interceptors. Thoughts? They're crap. Interceptors are crap. Okay. I have somebody every so often, about once a month. So I read every single YouTube comment I get. Every single comment. I read them all. I have my YouTube set up to where I have to approve messages. So I have to read every one of them. No message gets posted that I have not approved to be on my channel. The reason I do this is because people will get on my channel and they leave horrible advice. They tell people to do things like spray their bodies with bleach down to kill bed bugs and stuff. It's crazy things. There's some crazy things people say on the internet. And I don't want people to think that I actually promote those ideas, because I don't. I think it's a bad idea. You know, don't spray yourself with bleach. You're going to hurt yourself. You could poison yourself. You could kill yourself. Don't do that. But people tell people, I sprayed bleach all over the house. I used bleach powder. I did this. And it's like, it's very dangerous. Don't do that. But there's a guy that comes in and he talks about these CO2 traps. He's got millions of views on YouTube. I mean, absolute millions. Let me see if I can bring it up. I'll show you. I don't want to I don't want people to think I'm trying to hide information, because I'm not. It's just really bad information. So I have a comment, and it's on one of my heat treatment videos where I go over why heat treatments are not effective and they're so expensive and they don't work. And so this guy
center of it
has made this trap. Now I'm just going to show you a little screenshot here. Let me put it up there. I'm just going to show you a quick screening of it. Let's see. Let's see here. Scene. If I can get this position right. Alright. So this is the video. This is part of the video. And this guy is making a sugar, yeast, water, CO2 trap. For those of you that have seen this video, alright, it has got 1 million. Let's see. How do I can't show it. It won't show it. 1,699,000 views. Almost 1.7 million views. Alright, that's a lot of views for a video. But it's because he's trying to make out, oh, there we go. I can scroll up. He's trying to make out like this is the best way to get rid of bed bugs. It was done back in 2014, August 24, 2014 is when this video was added to YouTube. This is BS. It don't work at all. It just makes a mess. It makes something nasty for you to kick over in your house. It gets all over your floor. It's gross. It's disgusting. It does not work. So the reason that he's got this is because bedbugs are, scientifically, bedbugs are attracted to the CO2 that you breathe out. Okay, this trap creates CO2. It's a CO2 trap. But they're not just attracted to CO2. I mean, you might catch some bed bugs in this trap, but you ain't going to catch all the bed bugs in this trap, because bed bugs are also attracted to heat. So your body gives off 98.6 degrees. That's the temperature of a human body. They are attracted not just to the CO2 that you produce. They are attracted to the CO2 and the heat of your body heat. That's what they're attracted to. A lot of these guys that sell heat treatments come in and they say, well, we're going to heat up the house and the bed bugs are actually attracted to the heaters. That's bullshit too. That ain't true. That's not true at all. They are not attracted to 130 degree temperature, 135, 140 degrees. They're not attracted to that. They're attracted to that like you are. Do you want to go out at 130 degree temperature? Do you want to run around in 140 degree temperature? Just go, whoa! Really, do you want to do that? No, you'll burn up. You'll die. All right? It's too hot. It'll kill you. You'll sweat to death. You know, you'll dehydrate. You'll die. It does. I mean, the desert doesn't even get that hot, and people die, you know, from the desert. It is not somewhere bed bugs want to be. They do not want to go to 130, 140 degree temperature. They actually run from it. There used to be a viral video, and I have not been able to find it in years, but there used to be a viral video floating around YouTube, and if anybody ever sees it, I would love it if you'd send me a copy of that and DM me on Facebook or Discord. I would love to see the video that someone's actually doing a heat treatment, and the bed bugs are so bad that they're just going everywhere. They're squeezed into every little crack, every crevice, trying to get away from the heat machine. And it just shows that they don't just sit there and let the heat kill them. They actually try to get away from it. And a lot of them will. They will retreat into the wall. They go into the insulation. They burrow into the insulation, and the heat cannot get to them at all. And so it just doesn't work. Heat does not work on bed bugs. It does sometimes. Sometimes it does, but it's not as high a success rate as they would like you to believe. Most exterminators will tell you it's a 90 to 95% success rate, and that is a lie. That is not true. And so I just don't want you to waste your money. You know, I'm here promoting Crossfire. I do have affiliate links. If you go down to my description, I have affiliate links to Crossfire. On Do My Own, I'm affiliate with Do My Own Pest Control, and I'm an affiliate with Amazon. If you buy anything on my Amazon page, or you buy anything through my do-it-yourself or share, whatever it's called, if you go through any of those site links, I get a kickback from that. They pay me for that. But you don't have to buy from me. You can go look up the links anywhere. The money that I make on my YouTube and my Amazon page that I get from, you know, any kind of donations that go through PayPal, or people send a super chat or something, that money goes to help get the message to even more people. That's what I use it for. I don't need that stuff. Yeah, I've got a business. I've actually pretty successful business. I do about 300 houses a month. I do this to help. I really want to help you. I'm not trying to make a whole bunch of money off of YouTube. YouTube don't pay me hardly anything. You don't make nothing off YouTube. Trust me. For those that have ever been on YouTube, they don't pay you nothing. They don't pay you nothing on TikTok either. I don't get nothing on TikTok. I don't make hardly anything on YouTube. So I just do this to help people because I love to help people. I like this job. I love my job. I dream about bugs. I really do. So, what's good for indoor plants? I'm not sure what that question, like, what, you want to spray your plants? I'm not sure. Oh, yes. Yoda says the worst are the rubbing alcohol recommendations. That is absolutely true. People go in and they think they can go and buy a $3 bottle of rubbing alcohol and take care of the bed bug problems. That is not advisable. Alcohol is extremely flammable. It is. There were two people in Ohio a couple years ago that actually burned their house down. I went over this in a live stream. I actually read the article on live. You know, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow me. Hit the notification bell because I do this all the time. I talk about all kinds of crazy stuff on my live streams, from, like I said, you know, CO2 traps and why they don't work, to termites, to all kinds of things. Which I want to get back to the termite thing because I had a guy. I published the comment. Now, like I said, there are some people on here that they say things and I don't agree with it, but I allow it to stand on my channel. So this guy says, I wonder if I can share this, if there's anything. I don't think there's anything on here because this is actually what I see. I'm going to show you what I see. This is my channel. Let me share this. So this is the post that I got from a Dan Miles. Left it, and it's visible. You can go, it's on this video right here. If you go, it's called Termite Bait Stations and Why They Don't Work. Scam alert. So I got a picture of this. This is a real old bait station. This is a real old bait station. So even with a 4-year-old video, this guy is very outdated. Bathing, but it's actually baiting, but he spelled it bathing systems, but it's baiting systems are not what he's describing. They go into the ground fully active. Some great products out there. Not that Termidor or Taurus aren't. His info is outdated. Plus, there is plenty of room for human error. Often, PCPs or PCOs or whatever you want to call them, pest control technicians, will further dilute termiticide, making them ineffective. Corners will be cut to cut costs down, and liquid. Plus, Centricon, which is the perimeter baiting system, requires PCPs to be certified to use their products. Maybe this guy just wasn't familiar with quality termite bait systems. Lastly, nobody has 0% failure, lying to the camera and us. So that's the comment I got today. So like I said, I read every comment, every single comment that comes out. I read them all. I like to read my comments. I like to know what people are saying. But that's what I said. So in that video, I actually go over... So in Virginia, I've been around this industry for a really long time. And when termite baiting was first introduced, the way they used to do it, and this is in Virginia, and the way a lot of companies still do this, is they would go and put a piece of cardboard or cellulose material, cellulose meaning that it's made from wood, inside a bait station that's buried in the ground. When the termites get into that piece of cellulose material, wood, whatever, and they start to eat it, and they realize, oh, this bait station is active, then they come back with a termiticide, and they put the termiticide in the hole, and they kill the termites with the termite bait station. So that's the way they used to do it, and that's the way a lot of companies still do it, because they're still in these old habits of doing things the way it hadn't been that long ago. And so I talk in this video, and I explain why it's so expensive for bait stations and why they're a bad idea and why they don't work. And he got mad at me saying, well, you know, I'm a liar. And that, but I'll tell you a fact about termiticide. So I've been using Termidor since they took Dursban off the market. Termidor Taurus Fipronil, that's the active ingredient. Chlorpyrifos is the active ingredient in Dursban. Dursban was taken off of the market. Dursban was a highly repellent pesticide, and it worked in the repellent, meaning bugs stay away. You know, that's the way it works. Termidor or Taurus, fipronil-based pesticides, or termiticide, is actually a non-repellent. So it's like, come, continue to eat the wood, crawl through the chemical, and die. That's the way it works. Since I started using it back in the year 2000, all right, it's 2021. That's 21 years ago. Or 2022, actually, 22 years ago. 22 years ago, I started using fipronil-based pesticides around March or April. That's when we started using it. I have never had a house, not one house, in 22 years that I have had to go back and do a retreat on inside of 16 years, because the chemical only lasts for 16 years. Outside of 16 years, yes, I have had to do retreats, but the chemical only lasts 16 years. So eventually the termites are going to get back in the house after 16 years. But it's been 22 years, and so I have never had a house where it hasn't worked. Never. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to the camera. Maybe I'm lucky, but I've never had it to where it didn't work. It is that effective to kill termites. It is amazing. It is so effective that when they were studying Termidor, they had to move every other termiticide away from the area they were using Termidor because it was interfering with the other pesticides. A piece of information about termites. Eastern subterranean termites is what we're talking about. I got to be specific on that. But in eastern subs, they all look the same. So ants are different. You've got workers, carpenter ants, you've got acrobat ants, you've got tiny household ants, pharaoh ants, leafcutter ants, lots of different types of ants in the world. But there's only 3 or 4 different types of termites in the world. But the eastern subterranean termites are all identical. They're not any different sizes. They're all the same. The worker termite's the same. The reproductive looks like a reproductive. A soldier termite looks like a soldier termite. And so they all look the same in their category. Basically, workers are workers, soldiers are soldiers. You can tell the difference between workers, soldiers, and reproductives. But the point is that if you have 4 colonies of termites eating your house, you're not going to know if you have 1 or 4 because they all look the same. And this is what they found when they were testing Termidor. They found that on a perimeter plus treatment, which is the perimeter, the outside perimeter of the home is treated, plus anywhere there's active termites. So maybe you have to drill through a porch, or maybe you have to drill through a basement slab or something like that. In every single instance that a perimeter plus treatment was used, up to like 97%, 98% of the time, it eliminated every single termite. The only time it didn't was when there was another colony attacking a part of the house that the termites were able to get like underneath, maybe under the basement floor. Maybe they didn't drill the basement floor and they were coming through a bath trap or something. And that's all they were doing. They weren't actually working outside. They were working under the bathroom or something like that. That's what they did. So that's really successful. That's the most success at any termiticide ever. Just ever. It's amazing. All right. So let me tell you some backstory about Centricon and why Centricon is garbage. So Centricon is hexafluoron or whatever, however it's pronounced, is the active ingredient. It's the same active ingredient that they have in termiticides that they sell out in Lowe's. By the way, Pepperidge Farm, thank you for the $10. You didn't have to do that. I saw when you sent it, but I got on a tirade about termiticides. But anyway, so when Centricon came out, now, it's been out for a while. They have Centricon, and then they came out with a new product that they relabeled as Centricon, which is just hexafluoron that's a little bit stronger. The point is that they tell you that not to use the bait stations near a Termidor treatment because the Termidor will kill the termites too quickly. Because apparently that's a bad thing. Killing termites quickly is a bad thing. I really wanted the guy to show up tonight because I talked to him. And I told him I was going to be here, and I wanted him to come and talk to me about this and try to talk about Centricon over the chat, that he didn't show up. But anyway, that's if there's any questions about termites or Termidor or fipronil or anything like that that I've mentioned, don't hesitate to ask. I've used baits for ants. Baits are crap. Baits don't work. I've had houses. I had a house one time that I had to go and treat with Termidor that they were using Centricon at the house. And for 10 years, they were using baiting in Centricon. They started using Centricon maybe, 6-7 years ago. Switched over to it. You could push the wall. The whole wall would move. It's a load-bearing wall. It's outside of a garage. You could push the whole wall, and it would just do like this. And they ended up, I won't list the company, but she sued the company and won, and they had to pay to retreat the house. They actually paid me to retreat the house. They had to pay the damages and repairs and everything like that. So I mean, if you're an exterminator and you want that kind of liability on you, by all means use Centricon, but it'll put you out of business. It's not a good bait. It's not a good system, and it will cost you your business. And it only takes one. It only takes one customer like that to ruin your business. You know, people find out if they call 10 on my side or whatever, and they start talking about this company that and they show images of that wall, just swaying like that. That's gonna freak people out, and they're not going to want to call you for anything. I mean, you can't take care of these termites. What makes you think you can take care of ants or fleas or anything? They don't know. People don't know any better. So, anyway, that's my warning to exterminators that want to use that crap. It's garbage. It doesn't work. The problem is that where Centricon does work, that's great. If the termites get in, they find the Centricon, they eat it, they die. Perfect. But the problem is they don't have to. They can stay in the house. They don't have to. If they're happy with what they're eating and they're happy going in and chewing the wood apart and eating the wood of the house and they don't need anything else, they won't get into it. They don't always get into bait stations that are centered around the house. And you may only have one colony of termites eating that bait station and the rest of them are still eating the house. If you've got 3 or 4 colonies on one house, and see, the way they proved this was they actually injected the wood with dye. And they found that all these different color termites are in the same house, but they're all from different colonies. You see? So it's you can't assume that just because you put a bait station out, or even 20 or 30 bait stations out, that they're going to get into every one of them. My daughter and I are struggling with an infestation of bedbugs in our separate bedrooms. I have almost nothing in my room, but her room is packed. What's the best course without infesting the whole house? So more than likely, you have already infested the whole house. I don't want to make you think you have. I just want you to assume you have. When you treat with pesticides, you want to go through and you want to treat with a Crossfire. Crossfire is a non-repellent. Treat your bathroom. Even your bathrooms, everywhere, baseboards throughout the entire house, sofa beds, reclining chairs, sofas, couches, love seats. Box spring, headboard, footboard, bed rails, the mattress, crown molding if you've got it. Take your curtains down off the wall, launder them. I recommend throwing them in the dryer first because the dryer will kill the bed bugs. Bed bugs actually float, And so if you wash your clothes first, you may actually not kill your bed bugs. You'd be more effective to dry and then wash. So that's how I recommend getting rid of bed bugs. But treat the whole house. Act as if the entire house is infested, because you will track the eggs, you will track bed bugs, you will track them through the house. I ordered Crossfire, but found a nest. I have Orkin coming on Monday. How about using vinegar? Vinegar is not really a solution for bugs. It's a good thing to get stains out of your clothes. It could be used as a fabric softener instead of actually using fabric softener in your washing machine. And it's really good to make pickles. Let's see. Hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Follow me if you're on TikTok. I'm trying to get 10,000 followers on TikTok. I don't think it's going to happen. TikTok's weird. I had powder post beetles munching on my floor joist years ago. Yep, get you some sodium borates. Get up there and treat them. Boracare or Timbor. I am going to run and use the restroom. I will be right back. And TikTok is going to see me because I can't really go AFK on TikTok. Alright, sorry about that. Had to use potty. I sit here and I drink on, let's see, up close. Whoa. What has happened to my screen? I think I fixed that. It got messed up a little bit. The camera is on my monitor, and this is a really old monitor. I've had this monitor for like 15 years. All right. So, that's a good question. Let me turn this off over here. Work playlist says, is Crossfire safe for pets and small kids when dry? Yes, it is. If you follow the label of the pesticide, it will tell you that you don't want anybody like children or pets or people even to re-enter the room until it's dry. One of the reasons this is because, especially with pets. So if you're treating things like the bed or chairs, sofas, cushions, the zippers, I actually recommend flipping the couch cushions off and treating around the zippers, because I have actually zipped those open and found bed bugs in them. Futons are horrible for that stuff. And so I recommend treating all that. And the problem is with children and with pets is that it will be wet, and then the children and the pets will jump on the couch. And then they've taken the chemical away from the couch, because what will happen is it'll absorb into their clothing, it'll absorb into the fur of the pet, and they'll walk away with it, and then it's on their clothes, even though it's not really that harmful to people or pets. They're taking it away from the treated area. So, and then you have a void spot there where it's not evenly treated. So what you do is you stay away from it till it's dry, and then in a couple hours, it doesn't take that long. People have told me they've gone back in the house in an hour and it's been dry. So it just depends on the time of year. It depends on, the temperatures in the house. There's lots of things like fans, ceiling fans and stuff. I recommend turning the ceiling fans on so that you can get it to dry quicker, and then you can come back in the house. But it's not going to hurt you. It kills bed bugs. It's not really designed to hurt anything other than bed bugs. I wouldn't spray myself with it because that's stupid. You don't spray yourself with pesticide. But, pesticides have come a long way in 30 years. When I first started, even with Dursban, like I mentioned before, I mentioned that I used to use Dursban. Dursban was a chemical that we used pretty commonplace. It was used in, hospitals. It was used in restaurants for things like ants and roaches and stuff like that. And it's oil-based, so it's actually an organophosphate, so it has oil in it. It's an oil-based pesticide. And I was noticing even before they outlawed it that some of my customers would complain about having like headaches and stuff when you would leave their house. And so I stopped using it. I stopped even before it was outlawed because I felt like it really wasn't safe to use around people. But none of the chemicals I use now have those kind of effects on people at all. In fact, they have very low to little to no toxicity to mammals whatsoever. And so that's just the stuff I like to use in my business. I've got to be around it every day. My son will be 17 in a couple weeks. He works with me. I don't want him to be in, something that's going to harm him. My daughter, sometimes she comes with me to work. She'll be 9 in March. She comes with me. So, I don't want to use anything that I can't take my children with me to work and teach them how to do what I do, because they do go with me. My youngest, well, he used to be my youngest. My youngest is actually 10 weeks old now. But my Charlie, my 3-year-old, he goes with me sometimes. In fact, a few weeks ago or a month or so ago, my wife had to go to a doctor's appointment, and so I took Charlie to work with me because it's easier on her if I just take him to work with me. And, I'm walking around with him, and it's so funny because every single house we went to, almost every house we went to, he'd leave, and this was just regular route work, for ants, crickets, spiders, stuff like that. And he'd look at me and he'd say, "Well, Dad, that house ain't got bed bugs." And I'm like, "No, they don't. They've never really had bed bugs." But, he's 3, so he likes to talk about bed bugs. So I'm not going to use anything that's going to hurt my own children. I know one of the differences, this is a difference in pest control. All right. A lot of people assume that all pest control is the same, that every company is the same. It doesn't matter who you hire. You're going to get the same result no matter who you hire. And it's really just a matter of price. Whoever's the cheapest. That's what and that is absolutely not true. That's not true in pest control. It's not true really anywhere. It's like the difference between Amish furniture and Walmart furniture. Which one would you rather have in your home? If you could afford whatever piece of furniture you'd want, would you rather have Amish furniture or Walmart furniture? There is a difference in price, but there's also a difference in quality. And I've studied bugs for a very long time. I'm no entomologist. I haven't taken any entomologist classes. I read about them all the time. I'm constantly studying. I went and actually read a paper on bed bugs not too long ago, just not even 2 weeks ago. And so I'm always learning, and I try to learn new ways to approach, problems that it's more efficient, more effective. And this is something you don't really get out of a lot of like big box exterminating companies where they have just a lot of guys working for them. They may hire 20 or 30 guys in the spring to be able to keep up with call volume, and they just don't have any experience. They're just there for a job. They don't really understand a lot what they're doing. All they know is that this is the ant stuff, this is the spider stuff, that's the stuff for crickets, and then this is the stuff for mice. And this is how I get rid of these bugs using these different products. They don't really know what they're using. They don't know how the pesticides work. They don't know what cholinesterase is. A lot of people in the website, here right now, don't even know what cholinesterase is. But cholinesterase is it's the chemical that flows between the synapse. And your synapses is a nervous system. So all nerves connect like this. They hover. And so there's a chemical between the synapse that flows between the synapse that allows for the electric impulse to jump. A lot of your older pesticides are cholinesterase inhibitors, which means they eliminate that chemical that flows between the nerves. So that's how it kills a bug. Most exterminators don't even know that's how it even works anymore. You know, that was on the test not too long ago. I mean, I had to learn that for my test, but I've always known that. So let's see. What is the difference between bed bugs and bat bugs? Oh, that's a good one. Let's see. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't get any. I didn't miss something. Do brick houses suffer from infestation of different types of bugs as wood homes suffer from termite infestations? Brick homes get termites. Your house isn't made solely of bricks. You've got wood in your house. Typically, bricks are a veneer, like a brick veneer or a brick exterior, but there are solid wood walls in your home. The load, what actually bears the load of the house are your walls, your studs. Your roof sits on top of the stud. It doesn't sit on top of the bricks. And the studs are what holds your wall up. Now, some people build with metal studs, you know, and termites won't eat metal. But most houses are built with wooden studs. Even if they're not built with wooden studs, even if they're just built with metal studs, drywall is half paper, you know, and termites eat paper. Paper's made from wood, so termites eat paper. And so, you know, they can tear your house up. They're not going to tear it up structurally because you have metal beams in the wall, but they'll tear it up. You'll have to replace the sheetrock. You have to get somebody in there to fix your sheetrock if they eat the paper off of sheetrock. But typically they do get into the wood. In fact, brick homes I find are worse for termites because the wood is not exposed. It's hidden. It's hidden behind the brick. And so what termites do is they travel up behind the brick. So let me show you. Let's do a drawing with Jason. I haven't done one of those this stream yet. So let's do a drawing with Jason real quick. I'll explain to you how termites enter a brick home. If I can find my mouse. There we go. Let's put it up here. Boom. Up there. And we'll go sing. All right. So termites, let's say you got a brick home. All right. Now, this is, let's say you just got a square house. Squares are easy to do on paint. There you go. There's your paint. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a cross-section of the wall right here. And let's draw a line to show you what this is a brick wall. Let's say this is a brick wall. The way that your wall is, let's see, how do I, let me take my picture and make it a little, boom, like that. All right, so your brick sits on a shelf. So your foundation wall, let's say this is your foundation wall right here. Usually, there is a lip like this. Now, let's say your foundation is made of concrete. They put a lip all the way around your foundation, like that. And your brick sits in this lip right here. And it goes up the wall. But what happens is termites, when they enter a brick home, they go in right here. They go under the brick. They go up the wall like this. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then your studs, this is your plate right here. And your wall stud is going up. Well, wow, that's horrible. Let me undo that. That's annoying me. Let's do a line like this. And then your stud goes up like this. All right? So your termites are actually going under the brick, up and into your stud. Your brick is here. But there's a gap back there. Now, that termites only need a 1/16 of an inch to fit through. And a 1/16 of an inch is the width of a toothpick. Just to give you an example, the width of a toothpick. So if your mortar that goes around your brick, that seals your brick, if your mortar has any cracks at all in it, the termites can just squeeze in around the mortar joint, which they do all the time. It's very common. If there's ever a crack in the foundation wall, they could get to your floor that way. They could come in from the basement or the crawl space on the opposite direction and work their way up on the opposite side of the wall. And that's if you have a concrete wall. If you have a cinder block wall that your studs are sitting on top of, they come up in the middle of the wall too, because you have that void in the middle. That little square hole. They come up the wall inside the cinder block. So let's see, Jason, do you spray into the crack where the carpet meets the floor? Yes, I do. And then go back and spray the top side of the baseboard. Yes, I do. And do you use a wide fan spray to do it all with one swipe? Now, typically I go through twice, and sometimes I'll use a fan spray, and sometimes I hit it twice. It just depends on the house. What is the difference between bed bugs and bat bugs? All right, let's do this again. Let me make my picture bigger now. Let's do this. Boom, like that. Let us do a Google search. There's that video. Let's close that. That's the wrong window anyway. Let's go there. Let's open a new tab. Let's go to Google. This is the best image. Honestly, this is the best image. Bat, bug, and bed bugs. Oops. That's a bad bug. Let's do bat bug. And then there's an image right here. So this is a little... Alright. That is not a good picture. Let's go to images. I want to show you the picture that I always pull. There we go. Alright. So... how do I make this? Let me just view this. Open image. There we go. Alright. So this is a bed bug. This is a bat bug. They're very similar. Don't go with this discoloration on the tail because bed bugs will have that too. It's just they're just using this as an image. So you see the weird kind of long. I mean, you may not be able to see it in this image. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. If I do a control like that. All right. So you may not be able to see it, but this little discoloration right here on this picture, this is a bat bug. So this little discoloration, these are actually really long hairs. They have really long hairs, and their eyes grow kind of at a weird angle. And their antenna are a little, like, you see how this one's got the real weird kind of forked antenna, and this one has more of a straight, elongated antenna? That's how you can tell the difference between them. Now, you can't see that unless you look under a magnify lens. I've actually been able to see this with a jeweler's lens, a 30 times jeweler's lens. You can carry one in your bag with you if you're an exterminator. But that's the difference between bed bugs and bat bugs. It's very obvious when you look at them under a microscope, the differences. I actually have bed bugs. Right, let's see, which one of these jars? It is. I actually have some right here I can show you. I haven't shown people these in a long time, but I'll show TikTok first because they're on my phone camera. See, those are bed bugs. I don't know if y'all can see them or not. But they're not very big. I mean, just see, that's the tip of my finger. See, they're not very big. But let's show, let's do my up close camera. Now this is a feeder tube. Now, it's got a little fine mesh. I don't know if it's gonna, there you go, see? And the bed bugs are right here. Now they're dead, they're not alive, you know, but there they are in there. And what you do, the reason this is called a feeder tube is because of that wire mesh on top. And what you do is when the bed bugs are hungry and it's time to feed your bed bugs, is you just take your arm and you put your tube like this and you hold it there. And you give them plenty of time. You just hold it there. And they will bite through the screen and they can't get out. But they can bite you. And they'll bite you on your arm and you can feed them that way. These are dead. They're not alive. So they're not eating me. But that's what bed bugs look like. Now you see, you can't see those hairs. You can't see them. Like if I hold this up to my camera, again, see, you can't see their hair on their body. See the discoloration on their butt like it was showing you in that picture? Those are actual bed bugs though. That's not bat bugs. Those are bed bugs. And you can't see the hair on their body. You have to put that under a microscope to see that. Or like I said, a jeweler's lens works really well to see that, those hairs. And so, let's set that back up there. I have that just for you guys. I collect my bed bugs for YouTube. It's kind of crazy. My wife can't stand it. She hates it. I got bed bugs in the house. But they're all dead. She don't care because they're dead now. Or do you care?
Now that they're dead, they don't bother me as much.
See, now they're dead. As much. They don't bother her as much. But anyway. My wife and I have watched a lot of your videos, and they are great information for pest control. Well, thank you, Alfred. Thanks, Alfred. That's my best Batman. Actually, I have a mask somewhere. I don't know where it is. Anyway. Oh yes, me again. All my exterminator did from the get-go, he only treated the beds. You can get rid of bed bugs if you can only treat the beds. I've done it before in houses, hoarder homes. A lot of times all you can treat are the beds. Jason, do you spray into the crack? Okay, I already answered that question. Having some bites post-chemical treatment of bed bugs. Can't find any now. I'm suffering still. There were blood marks long back, but now not seeing any. Been 2 months, but still having random bites. Now, that may not be bed bugs doing that either. If you can't find bed bugs, don't assume that's what it is. Maybe something else. Maybe carpet beetles bothering you too. In fact, let me show you guys a picture of a carpet beetle. Carpet beetle. So these are carpet beetles. Now, this is the beetle itself. But what you see are larvae. And these are carpet beetle larvae right here. You might have these in your house. Carpet beetles feed on skin and dust, like dust cells. Dust is typically skin cells. That also is, let me see, not just dust particles, but like animals. Like if you have a dead mouse in the wall, or rodents, maybe even maybe you're a hunter. Maybe you've got some like heads hanging on the wall or something like that. Carpet beetles will get into that stuff. And people have allergic reactions to carpet beetles just like bed bugs, and you will have bite marks on your body just like bed bugs. They'll be in a line, like 2-3 dots in a row, just like bed bugs, but it's really an allergic reaction to the hair on the body of a carpet beetle. And so what happens is when the carpet beetle crawls across your furniture, like your bed pillow or something like that, munching on dead skin cells, which is common to find in the covers, they shed their hair. And when you lay on the hair, you don't see them because, you see how small these bugs, these are really small bugs. They're like this big. They're little teeny tiny things. And the fuzzy parts on their body, they shed that. And it'll leave it on your pillow, and you'll react from the hair. And so it'll look just like bed bugs, but you won't be able to find bed bugs. You won't find bed bugs anywhere, but you might find these. These are carpet beetles, not bed bugs. And it's really easy to kill carpet beetles. You could just any basic pesticide labeled for beetles will kill carpet beetles. So, and I've actually gone to homes where people were insisting they had bed bugs, and it was carpet beetles. It wasn't bed bugs at all. Can you get rid of roaches with just spraying and flushing, or do you need to use bait as a second treatment? How bait is only going to improve your success. So, if you've got a piece of IKEA furniture that you're trying to put together, if you have all of the tools you need to put the piece of furniture together, you will be able to get the piece of furniture together successfully, faster. But if you've got maybe a butter knife and maybe an Allen wrench, where you really should have a flathead screwdriver and an Allen wrench, you're probably going to spend a little more time putting your furniture together, but you're still going to get a couch. All right, that's the point, is that you really need the proper tools to do it right and to be effective. You don't have to buy bait. Bait's just going to ensure that you're successful quicker. I recommend bait. Bait's really good on roaches. Roaches die from bait. Bait, back when they first came out with roach bait, it was crap. Old versions of cockroach bait was garbage. When they came out with Max Force gel bait, that was the beginning of an amazing baiting experience for cockroaches. Baiting started to work really well. It was fantastic, but not until Max Force. Max Force was the first, and it doesn't work as well as it used to. There are better baits. Like I said, Advion, Vendetta work really good. They're not expensive. Doesn't take much, less than a pea size amount, not very much. It works really well. We melted our home to get rid of them. Brought them back from Disney. Oh, Disney's bad for bed bugs. A lot of places in Disney have bed bugs. I've been to Disney. I found bed bugs down there. I've got a video. A lot of people don't know about this video because it didn't get a lot of traction when I put it up. But let me show you. So, if you go to my channel, and you should hit the subscribe button over here. Hit the subscribe button. But you can go to my videos right? Or my playlist, actually my playlists. And you can scroll down here. This is all my playlists from all the videos I've got. Here is my 2017 vacation. These are my videos of when I went to Disney. I went on a Disney vacation with my kids. And I actually, let me see, it was this one right here. Man, I look young, don't I? I look so young. I was young. I was younger. Younger. Not young, just younger. But if you scroll down, this video right here, I have 1,700 views. Bedbugs on vacation. You see this? That's box spring. I picked the box spring up off the bed frame, and my wife was sitting on the bed. She got up because I flipped out. She got up and she started filming me. Yeah, filming me because she thought it was hilarious that I was searching for bed bugs in the middle of my Disney vacation. So, yes, they're down there. Kissame's got them. Disney's got Orlando. You know, everybody down there's got them. There's so many people come from all over the world to visit Disney that they get them down there.
I think they have successfully eliminated them.
Do what? Oh, this house? Yeah, they got rid of them, but they had them before. We use feeder tubes when training dogs to sniff out bed bugs. That's what you're supposed to do. Yep. So Brad says, not the bed bug, bat bug discussion again. So, all right. Here's the thing about YouTube. YouTube likes you to repeat yourself over and over and over and over again. I have videos that I make every year that are pretty much saying the same thing I said last year. Because that's the way YouTube works. YouTube wants you to continuously produce the same content over and over so that new subscribers can come and find you and see what you talk about on your channel. So I do talk about the same thing. When people come in and they ask questions about heat treatments, or they ask questions about bat bugs and bed bugs, or they ask questions about termites, I pretty much just regurgitate the same thing that I always tell people because that's what I do. I mean, nothing's changed. Now, if things change and chemicals change and, you know, entomology changes, which it won't, but if it does, I'll tell you, and I'll be here to say something different. But right now, for the last 5 years, I've used Crossfire. I've been very successful using Crossfire. I recommend Crossfire for bed bugs, and I haven't changed that. People will go and they'll see my videos from like 4 years ago, and they'll say, this has been 4 years ago. This is an old video, but does this still work? Yeah, it does. I'll replace the video with something new if it stops working. So, anyway, these bots, I tell you what. Jennifer Lego, if she's in here, I want to make you a mod so you can block these people because they're obnoxious. I hate bots. I hate them. So let's see. How do you get rid of bed bugs in an apartment building? Be very thorough. Heat treated the house. Let's see. We use feeder tubes. Let's see. Can you get rid of roaches with just spraying and flushing? Oh yeah, I already answered that, I believe. What is that noise? Oh, that's my wife. Okay, I found a DeWalt sprayer at Home Depot that seems good enough for Crossfire treatment, hoping to spray on Saturday. Let's see. Heat treated a house. How many square feet does a 13-ounce bottle of Crossfire good for? I think it's 1,000 square feet. But you're not treating square feet, you're treating linear feet. So if it says 1,000 square feet, that's like what, 100 by 100 is 1,000. So linear feet, oh wait, what is 100? No, 100 by 10 would be 1,000. Man, I'm horrible. But no, so 1,000 square feet is how much it treats, but you're not treating square feet. Square feet would indicate like the whole entire area, but you're treating linear feet, which is just the perimeter. So just because it says it covers 1,000 square feet, that's not what that means. I mean, it does mean that, but you're not spraying square footage. In fact, it says right on the label, don't broadcast. You're not supposed to broadcast Crossfire. You're not supposed to spray the whole floor. You're only supposed to spray the baseboards and the places it tells you on the label. Let's see. How do you get rid of bed bugs in an apartment? Okay, I said that very, very thoroughly. Any mail ID I can contact you through. Thanks for answering my question. Like email? What I usually recommend people do, if you want my email address, I don't give my email address out. I don't have it available for people. I don't tell people what it is. But, because I don't want a bunch of bots. You see all these bots, these stupid bots I'm having to block in my channel because they keep coming in and saying jibber jabber, trying to get people to go look at their phishing scams. But normally what I tell people to do is if you need to talk to me, you can contact me through my Facebook page, and either me or my wife gets all the messages too. Either me or my wife will respond to you, and then I can give you my email that way. But that's the only way I give out my email. I don't give my email just to anybody. It's a work email. I use it for work, and I use it for YouTube and Facebook and stuff. And so if you need to contact me, that's the way to do it. Contact me through Facebook. Or DM me through, you can DM me through Discord. I do have a Discord link. It's in the description. And so you can catch me there too. In fact, there's lots of people that chat. There are over 100 people on Discord that are there. And I'm there, and my wife's there too. She can answer anything that I can answer. Awesome. We'll definitely watch it. Disney has their own fake bedbug task force that will go investigate the claim, and they told us nothing was found, and they were sorry. No refund or partial refund. Yeah. They didn't find anything because they don't know what to look for, or they just paid to lie. But you're not the only person. I've heard a lot of stories out of Disney about bed bugs, a lot of stories, and I've actually heard of lawsuits against Disney too over bed bugs. Let's see. I have an exterminator telling me he's using Transport Micron for the first spray, and then Tempered for the second spray, then Tempo Dust for the outlets. How do you feel about these chemicals? Tempo Dust? Really? Tempo Dust. I thought that was... Is it? I gotta see what it is. I don't use Tempo Dust. Is it Delta Methrin? I think it's Delta Methrin. I think. Let me see what the label says. No. Oh, actually, that probably will kill bed bugs. That'd probably be real effective on bed bugs in the outlets. I would use that. That's good. That's a good chemical there. That's actually, let's see. It says cyfluthrin, which is what's in Crossfire. So yeah, that'll kill bed bugs. That's a good chemical for the wall. I like that. Tempered, not so much, but people use Tempered because it's cheap. It's a cheap alternative to Crossfire. That's why people use it. Not as effective as Crossfire, but he might be successful. If he's using Tempo Dust, that might be successful. I can hear that.
Sorry.
My wife's playing video games. She's a gamer. She's my wife. She's got to be a gamer. We used to play games when we were kids. I'm 4 years older than my wife, but I've known her since she was 7. I just covertly told them how old you are. Mm-hmm. Not supposed to do that. They'll figure it out. They have to figure it out on their own. Yeah, but I agree with Brad. I'd treat the outlets first. I would do that on the first treatment. I don't skip that. That's if you're gonna do it. If you're gonna do outlets. Now I don't treat outlets anymore since I started using Crossfire. But I was using Alpine Dust in the walls, and that was really effective. But I don't even need to do it. It just makes a mess that you don't need to do. You just don't need to if you use a Crossfire. Somebody says, just keep on regurgitating, Jason. We appreciate it. Some people just don't get it that new people are always watching. Yeah. Any advice? Granddaughter returning to college, dorms, dealing with bed bugs. Ooh. You can treat your luggage bags with Crossfire. You can treat your beds and stuff. Just make sure you're not disobeying any of the rules of the dormitory. You know, sometimes they won't let you because they've got their own exterminator. And a lot more exterminators have started using Tempered. I mean, not Tempered, but Crossfire. A lot more have started using it for bed bugs. And, you know, let me see. I don't think that integrated pest system's any good. Somebody asked about this. Nah, I wouldn't do that. That's just another way to charge people too much money and off of fear. So I'm not even going to post it on the thing. I'm not even going to share my screen. But that integrated pest systems are just a way to get more money out of people. Will anything negative come from doing a broadcast spray of Crossfire? My landlord did that back in October. I mean, I don't think anything negative will come from it, but there's no need to do it. They don't live all over the floor. They just don't. They live near the baseboards. They live near the beds. They live near the bed legs and places. They don't live on the floor. They're just not going to be there. There's no reason to do that. It's just a waste of pesticide, basically. I mean, Crossfire is not the cheapest chemical. If you compare it to other pesticides, it is not that cheap. It's actually pretty expensive. And to go and just spray it places it doesn't even need to be sprayed is just a waste of chemical. You know, some people will say, well, I'm just going to spray everything because that'll be better. But it's not. It actually isn't. If the bed bugs are never going to crawl there, then it really is a waste of chemical. You could send me a picture of the bug bites, but I probably won't be able to give you any recommendation on what they are or are not, just because bugs bite you and everybody has different reactions from bug bites. I mean, I'll tell you what I've seen on people before, but I can't tell you if what's biting you. I probably won't be able to tell you that. So let's see. The mess with dusting would say to me that it is the tech using too much dust. Well, see, one of the problems, Brad, with dust is, now I've got a really good video of this on my channel. I was dusting a yellow jacket nest in the ground. Now, I don't use a lot of dust. It doesn't take a lot of dust to dust yellow jackets, and you put your duster about that far in the hole, you know, when they go underground. And I puffed the dust went in the ground. When I pulled the duster spout out, a bellow of dust actually followed the duster out of the hole like a vacuum. You know, because it does. When you pull it out of the hole, it's going to create a vacuum, and it's going to suck some of the dust back up into the air, and you can actually see for a split second a little puff of dust coming out of the hole. Now, it wasn't a lot. It was just a little bit. But that happens with the wall, which typically what you do, and it takes a finesse to use a duster. But let's see. Do I have anything here that would resemble a duster? All right. Let's show you how big of a nerd I am. I'll show you a bit. I'll take my pens out of my pen jar. All right. I'm a nerd. This is a pen jar. If anyone knows what this is, post it in the comments. You know what this is? Does anybody know what this is? I'm a nerd. Anyway, I'm a gamer too. All right. So let's say that your duster. Let's use this back scratcher. All right. Your duster, like a bellows duster, is like that. Okay. This is the bellows part where your dust goes. This is the spout that goes into the wall. All right. And what you do is if you fill your duster in this way, so you take your lid off, you put your dust in. Now all the dust comes down and it clumps around your entry pipe for where it's going to come out this way. All right. So what you do in order to keep from too much dust, you put your lid back on, you turn it upside down like this. You shake it up a little bit so you create a dust cloud. Now what you've done is in this part of the duster where you only fill it like half full. And in this part of the duster, you've created a cloud of dust because that's what happens. When you shake dust around, it creates a little cloud in here. And when you puff it, it's just going to make a little wisp of smoke. It looks like smoke comes out of the end of the duster. That is how you apply dust properly. You should not use very much. You should not really be able to see hardly any dust when it settles because that's how fine the dust has to be correctly done. So that's why I don't recommend that people dust because it's really easy to make a mistake. Even with all the years of experience I have using dusters, it is easy to make a mistake. For anyone, even a professional, it happens. And you don't want to breathe the dust in your face. You don't want it to puff all over you. You don't want to get all over your hands or your arms. You don't want it on you. It's pesticides. And so even with diatomaceous earth and stuff, you don't want to breathe that stuff in. It's not healthy for you to breathe it in. It's not good for you. And so I don't recommend for the common person, just anybody, to use dust. Like people will say, well, I bought Cemexa dust and I'm going to use Cemexa with Crossfire. And that's fine, but it's not going to be as effective unless you really know how to use a duster. And it took me a long time to explain, to learn how to use a duster. It's not something that just comes. It's something that comes with experience. You have to do it over and over and over again to learn how to use a duster. It's not easy. It's actually a more advanced way of using pesticides. And it's why I don't talk about it a lot on my channel, because it is so advanced and you really do need experience to be able to properly use a duster. And Brad, which is in the chat, I'm sure he would actually, he would say this too, that it isn't something that, it is a more advanced way to get rid of bugs, and it's not for everybody. It's really not. It's not really for anybody unless you're a professional. That's what I would advise. Don't try it unless you're a professional. So it's like one of those like Jackass movies where people do crazy stuff and they jump. Don't do this. It's only professionals. You know. Don't snap your head in a mousetrap. It'll hurt you. You know, the crazy things they do on Jackass. Okay, so in the same time when I was supposed to concentrate on my issues, crazy. I'm not sure what this question is. All I want to know is what's biting. Have anyone ever died from bed bugs? I don't think so. You cannot ID bug from bug bites. That's correct. In fact, doctors do it all the time and they're wrong. Most of the time, doctors are wrong about what type of bug is biting you. They don't know either. Unless you've got the actual bug there, and really you need to take the bug and send it off to Virginia Tech or Tennessee Tech, somewhere like that, and send it out to them and let them look at it and tell you what it is. Don't, and then they'll tell you what kind of bug is biting you, but you need the bug. You need the actual bug that is leaving the bite. It's very hard to tell you what, someone says I look like Sturgill Simpson. Who is Sturgill Simpson? I gotta look at this now. People on TikTok will tell you look like somebody. Like some people. All right, be honest with me. Let me step away from pest control for a minute. Do I look like the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Do I? People on TikTok swear I look like the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't think so. Just because I got a big nose. I got a big nose, see? I got a big nose. But I don't think I look like him. I don't think I do. My wife says I don't. But anyway, I got to see who Sturgill Simpson is. I got to see this. Sturgill. Let's see. Who is this guy? Sturgill Simpson. No, I don't. That guy. Am I that old? Do I look that old? No way in hell I don't look like Sturgill Simpson. No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. I mean, look at this. See? I don't look like that guy. I got too long of a head. Like Sturgill Simpson's he got like a round head. I got like a long skinny head. Anyway. Oh, I am trying to live. Let's see. There's another bot. These stupid bots. Can we somehow create... No. The CO2 traps do not work. You cannot freeze bed bugs overnight unless it's below 40 degrees. Negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And that takes... let's see. What is it? I looked this up before. Freeze. How to freeze bed bugs. Because I actually researched this and I did a video on freezing bed bugs for at least 4 days. At least 4 days. They have to be below freezing for at least 4 days to die. So if your temperature fluctuates outside and it's not below, like right now it's 41 degrees outside. That's not cold enough to kill bed bugs. It has to be 0 degrees Fahrenheit It says freezers set to 0 degrees Fahrenheit are effective at killing bed bugs, but the things you are freezing must be left in the freezer for at least 4 days at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, freezing is 32. 32 degrees is freezing. So 0 degrees is what it has to be to kill bed bugs. 0 degrees. That's a long time. That's really cold. It never gets... When's the last time it got below 0 in Virginia, Alicia Joe? Alicia?
0 degrees Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Years.
It's been a while.
Yeah, a long time.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah, long time. Live up in Canada, you kill them pretty easy. Take them outside. Actually, that might be a good suggestion for Canadians if you're having problems with bed bugs in your belongings. Stick them outside for a few days. But negative 40 is the temperature. I believe that liquid nitrogen freezes at negative 40. And that kills bed bugs instantly. I'm sorry. Got confused. Negative 40. But 0 degrees for 4 days. And that is really cold. That's really... My freezer doesn't actually freeze at 0 degrees. It doesn't get that cold in my freezer. I think our freezer's set to like 8.
I just checked it. It's at -8.
Negative 8?
Yep.
That's really cold.
That's what it said.
No, the one upstairs or the one downstairs?
The one upstairs.
Upstairs. Well, my wife's telling me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Because I just adjusted the fridge because everything was freezing in the fridge.
That's too cold.
What is too cold?
Negative 8 is too cold. It doesn't need to be that cold.
The freezer?
Yeah. It doesn't need to be that cold. That's too cold. Because the freezer, the air from the freezer goes up into the refrigerator.
Right.
That's how the freezer is what actually refrigerates everything. What is your opinion on steam treating? Steam before you apply Crossfire, then apply Crossfire. Steam is a good way to get the bedbug droppings off of your stuff. You know, if you've got poop all over the beds and stuff, you can steam clean it off. It's a real good way to clean the poop off. And then go through and treat with Crossfire. You're still not going to kill everything with steam. It's currently 6 degrees Fahrenheit here. Hard to believe they can survive that type of cold. They do. They do survive that type of cold. Yeah.
Well, like the snake you saw frozen today, they're cold-blooded, aren't they?
If you can't... If you've been trying to get rid of bed bugs and you've been unsuccessful getting rid of bed bugs, you may need to hire a professional. It may just be something you need to do. And, all right, so my channel is here because there are people that can't afford pest control. And I want people to understand that pest control is within your reach, even if you do it yourself. That you can provide yourself with pest control and be effective. The videos that I give you, the advice that I give you, is stuff that I've done myself. It's how I'm able to get rid of bugs myself. That's what I talk about on my channel. Because when so I started my YouTube channel 6 years ago because an exterminator went out, charged a man $3,500 on a heat treatment on his house. 3 days later, the guy's getting eaten alive by bed bugs. It did not work. It was not successful. I have had countless people come to me, tell me that, you know, this company, that company, this company has tried to charge them $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to get rid of bed bugs. They cannot afford it. And so the exterminator turns around and walks away. Basically to tell the customer, I don't care if you bleed to death to these stupid things. I'm not going to treat your house because you're not going to pony up the cash. And so I created my YouTube channel to try to show people that can't afford an exterminator. Because, I mean, I'm an exterminator. I do this for a living. I charge people money to do what I do. It's not cheap to kill bed bugs. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of labor. It's a lot of back-breaking labor. The type of work that I do when I turn beds over and I flip mattresses and I treat sofas, and it is a lot of back-breaking labor. Okay? It's a lot of work. And it hurts. And you need to get paid for that. And so I have to charge for it. But if you watch my YouTube and I've got videos of me doing bedbug work, just watch me do it and go and do it yourself. You will get rid of your bedbug problem. You can do it. If you're willing to do the labor, that's really what you pay for in a bedbug job. Even if a heat treatment, you know, when you think about it, If you've got to have a heat guy out there doing your heat treatment for 8 hours out of the day, you got to pay that guy to be there for 8 hours. That's a long time. That's a whole day's worth of work. That guy's got to be at your house, just your house, treating your bugs. That's expensive. So there's a reason that the prices are what they are, but there are also alternatives out there that you can do yourself, and you can get rid of these bed bugs on your own. You don't have to buy from an exterminator. But if you are continually doing this over and over and over and over again, you may just need a professional to help you. You know, it's not that, I mean, that's what I'm here. I'm a professional. I'm here trying to help you, but I can't come out there. I can't go to every state in the union. I can't go to every country in the world and try to help people kill their own bed bugs. So all I can do is say, this is how I've done it in the past. This is the way that I do it. This is how I treat cracks and crevices. This is how I treat mattresses and baseboards. This is how I treat everything that I treat. If you do what I do, it should work. But if it doesn't work, you might just need a professional to come and do it for you. And I hate to say that because I've really built my channel around helping people that can't afford pest control. But sometimes you just have to have somebody come out there that does it for a living. You know, I learned how to rebuild a motor. I rebuilt the motor in my car. I have a 1975 Plymouth Duster. I rebuilt a 6-cylinder motor. It's got a straight 6 in it. Or slant 6. I rebuilt the whole motor, and I did it all by myself from stuff I learned on the internet, from YouTube and do-it-yourself guides on the internet. Spent $1,200 rebuilding the motor. I could have spent $800 and got a 318 put in the car. You know, I mean, I didn't know, but it was a learning experience. I learned, and I'm not a mechanic, but I learned a lot from doing it, and I was able to change the motor out and everything myself. I did it all myself. So, you know, you can't beat a professional at their own job, but you might be able to get rid of your problem. You know, a lot of people do. I said, a kid contacted me through Facebook, and I cried because the little girl is like, you know, my family was able to come for Christmas because we were able to get rid of our bed bugs. It meant the world to me that I was able to help her get rid of her problem that she could not afford to exterminate her. She couldn't, but she was able to do it with my advice. She got rid of her bed bugs. So, you know, yeah, now I've talked out of the heart. I need to shut up. Sound like a bleeding heart. You know, I heard this story. Someone created a genetic hybrid female mosquito that can breed and eradicate a mosquito issue. Someone should... Yeah, that's true. Someone did do that. I thought that was crazy. Yeah, bombing will spread bed bugs. Someone said they bombed. You will spread bed bugs by bombing. Jason, can you do a video on how to dust Semexa in the... Oh, I did. I did do a video on that. Let me see if I can find it. It's an old video. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, youtube.com/greenacrespc. Alright, and let's search. Let's see. Videos. I'll show you what I'm doing. Videos right here, and then you go to search. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. But then if you go here and you search dust, just dust. All right, dust roaches correctly. There's one way. That's how to dust. That'll show you how to dust. And that's a bellows duster. That's what I've got. You know, when I held this cup up with this back scratcher like this, you know, that's what I was trying to show you. Is that's the type of dusters I use. The hand bellows duster. That's what I like. I don't like the bulb dusters. I like the bellows dusters. They're my favorite. Let's see. There we go. How to dust with diatomaceous earth the right way, which is pretty much Semexa, is basically the same thing. Very similar. You can always watch this video here. Let me see if I can click it. And then share. And then copy the link. And then let's do this. There's the bed bug one. And this one right here. Had me in the closet. Let's share this one. Copy. Yeah, y'all probably don't know. I film a lot of my stuff in my closets. That's a couple years ago. And there's the one on roaches. So there you go. Anyway. There's my webpage there. Alright, so let's go back to up close. I like the up close one better. Anyway. I sit here. So when I was a kid, I would sit, I'll say, what do you have to do to get your house ready for a bedbug treatment? Well, if it's Crossfire, all you have to do is strip the beds. That's all I make people do. But anyway, I was just answering a TikTok. So I'm on TikTok streaming live there too. How long have I been streaming for? Let me see. Wow, almost 2 hours. I'm going to probably have to get off here pretty soon. But I can't even remember what I was going to talk about now. Oh, yeah. So when I was a kid, I'd sit in front of the mirror for hours and just make faces. And when I do YouTube, I have a real hard time not looking and doing like this, and like this, and like this, and making weird faces at myself. And that's like all TikTok is, people making weird faces. But I sit here and I'm like, I could make a funny face right now. Like that. But anyway, that's what I do. That's why sometimes I make bug-eyed faces like this, because I just look at myself and I'm like, that's funny. That looks funny. I did a video on how to use repellents for bed bugs, and I would say go look for that one. Someone just asked, they can't get Crossfire in Canada, so is there anything else similar? Apprehend is what I would advise, but you can only really get that if you're a professional. And so they do have it in Canada, and it does work, and it is very successful. And so I would recommend, if you can't get Crossfire and you're not able to get rid of the bed bugs using the repellency video that I made, then I would say you're going to have to hire somebody with Apprehend, because that will absolutely get rid of bed bugs. It's very similar to Crossfire, but it's a mold spore. It's not a chemical. So after the exterminator leaves for his 2 sprays, I plan on spraying my Crossfire every 30 days, even if I don't see them. Is this a good idea? Well, it'll keep them. I mean, if you're not seeing them, I don't see why you... It's going along the whole, let's take an aspirin for a headache we don't have. You know, if you don't have a headache, there's no reason to take medication for it. If you don't have bed bugs, there's no reason to spray for something you don't have. Now, that doesn't mean you're not to do a preventative, but there's no reason to spend all the money on Crossfire. There are other preventative pesticides out there you can use for bed bugs. That aren't as expensive as Crossfire. Do you keep turning the dial back on the dryer knob to keep the heat? You want to go for at least an hour on the dryer at the highest heat setting for at least an hour. 60 minutes is what you want to let it go for. Life is a learning experience. Amen. Amen. Let's see. Thank you for your time. Oh, yeah, anytime. I like it. What is your TikTok? Green Akers Pest Control. Same as here. It's in the description, too. It should be. I think it's in the description. Let me see. Let's show you guys how to do the description. Some people don't know how to do the description. There's me. There's me. That's a long time ago. A couple years, anyway. Feels like a long time ago. So this is my live stream right now. So if you scroll down, there's my description right underneath there. You may have to click see more, but there's a description, and there's my donation button. Schedule a time to talk to me. TikTok, there it is. So if you click it here, there it is. There I am. See, that's weird. All right, I can play this one. I have to be careful what I play on YouTube, because YouTube don't like TikTok's music. Oh wait, I think it's just cheering. I don't think I'll get hit on this video. If I click here.
The bug man. I'm telling you right now, bedbugs, I'm coming for ya.
Yeah, so that's TikTok. That's embarrassing.
The one of you and Charlie yelling.
No, I could do that one. Yeah, this is pretty funny. Alright, so that's when you see a roach run across the table at your favorite restaurant, and that's my son. That was when he was 2 years old, and that's me when that's 38, 39, something like that, like last year. But, stuff like that I do on TikTok. It's just funny stuff that I do. This is actually a video of Rory right here from, how old was he when he did that horse head video? 9?
Oh, he was
8? think it was 9. Because I was at Myrtle Beach. I think it was 9.
8 or 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9 years old. So stuff like that, just funny stuff. And then I've got advice and different things I tell people, like see bed bugs and hard exterminator facts and stuff like that you get, spider tips, how to get rid of spiders, bed bugs, stuff like that I do on TikTok. But the thing I do about so you will find that I do more videos on TikTok than I do on YouTube, because TikTok allows for just a minute. It takes like 15-20 minutes to edit a video and you can put it up on TikTok. It's pretty cool. It takes me 3 to 6 hours to edit a video for YouTube. I do have a video that's already up in the works that's coming out next Tuesday. It's already going. It's why do gross people get bugs? I think is the title. It's a clickbait title, but it's about gross people and bugs, and it goes over being gross and nasty and not cleaning, and the facts of the truth is that dirty people don't get bugs, they keep bugs. It's not that it makes it harder to eliminate bugs if they're not clean. If you keep dirty dishes in the sink, it's going to give your roaches a place to get food and water. If you don't clean up your bed, your bedroom area, like if you've got a bunch of crap stuffed under your bed or boxes and stuff in your bedroom, it gives harborage for bed bugs. It makes it harder to get rid of your bed bug problem. And so I just go over that. I don't actually think that dirty people cause bugs. I just think that dirty people keep them longer. And I go over little tips and tricks in that video coming out Tuesday on how to try to get ahead of that and try to fight it if you do have a dirty home, or just tips and tricks on that's what I got coming out Tuesday. So if you're interested, like I said, try to subscribe and hit notifications so you know when it comes. But I try to put my videos up at 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesdays. Tuesdays is when my videos go live, and Thursdays, of course, tonight is when I live stream. So no, I don't have to bag everything. No. So a lot of people will go in for their prep and they will bag everything up. They will they'll go in, they'll empty out their dressers, chest of drawers, closets, everything. And Apprehend and Crossfire don't require that, because they're non-repellents. As long as you're able to treat the bed, the mattress, box spring, headboard, footboard, bed rails, couches, love seats, lazy boy recliners, stuff like that, if you could treat all those areas, those are the places you're going to be. They're the places you're going to hang out. The bed bugs are going to come to you. They're going to come to you. They don't know the chemicals there. They're going to come to you and they're going to die. They're not going to get blood from a sweater in your dresser. They're not going to get blood from curtains. They're not going to get blood from your coat, your wedding dress that's been away in the closet for 20 years. They're not going to go into that stuff. They might go in there, lay eggs, and live there, but they're going to come out to bite you, and when they do, they crawl through the chemical and they die. So it's a very non-invasive way to get rid of bugs. It's very effective. Brad, I found you on the talk. Do you know Jeff White? Don't think so. I don't know a lot of people. Let me see. Jeff. I might. I don't know. Jeff White. Let me see. Bedbug. Bedbug Central. Nah, I don't know him. I know of him. I know Bedbug Central. I know that. I don't know him specifically. I'm not going to talk about him specifically. I don't really know him. But I don't go with these, I don't care if people have degrees at institutions and stuff. Like he says he's got a master's degree in entomology from the University of Florida. He knows a lot about how bugs work. But a lot of these people that get these degrees and go to work for these colleges, they can't really be, I don't want to say him, I don't know him specifically, but I know of entomologists that work at colleges that give advice on pest control procedures based on what they've been paid. So a lot of these institutions are paid for by exterminators. And so certain companies will pay for, they will donate a center, and they basically will pay to have a part of the college built. And in that part of the college, the people that work there, the whole reason they have a job is because a exterminating company paid for where they work. And so they will give advice based on what that company does as far as that certain company's procedures or whatever they do. And they'll say, well, this is what we believe is to be the most effective way to get rid of bed bugs, or this is the way we believe is the most effective way to get rid of cockroaches. And you'll find that those ways that people are able to get rid of bugs, you'll find that it's really just pushing more customers to the company that built their center for entomology. And so you're not getting an honest, they're entomologists. They know a lot about bugs, but you're not getting an honest advice. You're not getting honest advice on what you should or should not do. You're getting advice based on who pays their paycheck. And that is something that I don't agree with.
Going back to also, what works in the lab in a controlled setting doesn't necessarily
exactly
be the same. Going back to where you pulled a chemical years before anyone did.
Well, yeah, like Durazban. Like, I stopped using Durazban years before it was outlawed because it was making customers sick. And this is before they even started saying this. This is before the universities and the industry and stuff were saying, whoa, you probably shouldn't use this inside anymore. I had already stopped using it inside because people were suffering from headaches. This is the way that money talks. And if you're getting advice from an entomologist and they've got some degree, bachelor's degree, and they work for some college or university somewhere, look to see who's writing their paychecks. Look to see where the money's going. Follow the money trail, because honestly, it's a sad thing to say that people don't just try to help other people and be honest with people, but they're just looking out for themselves. They're just trying to make a living. They're trying to feed their family. It's the way it is. But like I said, not everybody's comes from a background like I have, where they've lived in Section 8 housing. I've lived there. I know how bad it is in Section 8 housing. I know how it is to have nothing at all. I've been there. I have been there. I'm always terrified I'm going to end up back there. And so I constantly try to do the best I can for people, because I don't want to end up back there. It's not a good place to be. And anyone that's ever lived in Section 8 housing knows full well that I am not lying. I'm telling the truth, that it's a horrible place to live. It's awful. It's nasty. They don't take care of you. They treat you like you're just scum of the earth. They barge in. They treat you like you're a moron, that you don't know what you're doing, that you don't know anything, that you're just too stupid, which is why you're in Section 8 housing, because if you were smarter, you wouldn't be there. And that's the kind of treatment you get when you live in the projects, where your rent's paid for, and your electric's paid for, and your food is paid for, and everything's paid for, and you're not really getting anything because you're like a child. I know what that's like. I know what it's like. I hate it. And I'm trying to help people wherever I can. I know what it's like to be there. I want to try to help you up. So, man, a lot of stuff is scrolled through here. What happens if I'm fixing a house and I find bed bugs? What should be my next step? Kill them. Spray them with some Crossfire. Kill them. The bottles of Crossfire are so small. Can you get larger bottles? Yeah, you can. You can get a gallon. So you only need a gallon to do a whole house, to mixed chemical. Okay, so a 13-ounce bottle. You pour that into, so what you do, I've actually got a video showing how to mix Crossfire, but what you do is you pour half of a gallon of water, you pour your 13-ounce bottle, you fill it the rest of the way with water, you shake it up real good, and then you apply that. You will not use the whole gallon in your house. I've used less than probably 2/3 of a gallon. I've used in an entire, like a 7-bedroom house. You're not going to use the whole thing. You're not. You're just not. It's not that much chemical. If you do follow the label and you treat per label and you do what the label tells you to do, you will not use the whole gallon of Crossfire. You won't. You'll have leftover. But the one thing that's good about the gallon container of Crossfire is it's actually a graduated cylinder. It's measured on the side. So you can, if you're wanting to mix less than a gallon, like a half gallon, you actually have a 6.5 ounce mark there. So you can mix half a gallon instead of a 13-ounce gallon. It's really hard to mix in liquid ounces. Liquid ounces is not the same as weight ounces, and viscosity matters in liquid. And so with a pesticides are thicker than water, so it's not even the same weight so you kind of need a tip and pour measure or a squeeze bottle measure to measure the proper ounces of Crossfire to actually mix the right dosage, because if you don't get it right, you won't get rid of your bed bugs. It is chemistry 101. You've got to mix per label. What do you suggest in Australia? We don't have Crossfire. I'm not sure what you have in Australia. I had a lady call me from New Zealand one time and talk for me 3 hours in the morning one time, long distance, and I talked to her. She had bed bugs, and I tried to settle her mind and made her feel better about the situation she was in. But I don't know a lot about Australia. If you can't get Crossfire, it's going to be kind of hard. I don't know if Apprehend is available in Australia or not, but that's what I would do. Probably hire somebody that can use Apprehend. There are pesticides that you can use that are repellents, and they do work on bed bugs. And you can try that. You're going to have to treat every month, maybe twice a month, until the bed bugs either get so hungry that they come out and they're willing to crawl across the repellent and die, which will happen eventually, or they'll starve. And if you treat for 18 months, you're going to take care of your bed bug problem, 2 years, and they're not going to bite you. That's the solution. The thing is that you don't have to use Crossfire to get rid of bed bugs. You don't have to use Apprehend to get rid of bed bugs. You don't have to use Temperate to get rid of bed bugs. You can use a repellent pesticide to get rid of bed bugs, a pesticide that bed bugs see. You're going to have to be very thorough, and you're going to have to treat everywhere possible, every crack, every crevice. Don't miss anything. And if you do it successfully and you treat every month, once a month, for a year and a half, 2 years, you will eventually get rid of your bed bug problem. Now, that's a long time. If you think about it, that's a really long time. How much pesticide are you purchasing? How much pesticide are you using in 2 years? How much are you going through? It's cheaper to use Crossfire in the long run because you'll get rid of them sooner. You'll get rid of them within a month and a half, 2 months if you use Crossfire. If you use repellents, like what you get at Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, somewhere like that, it's going to take you a couple years to get rid of your bedbug problem just because of how long bedbugs can go without a blood meal. They can go without a blood meal for 10 to 18 months. That's a long time to be dealing with bugs. So, Alicia's going to bed. You good night, Alicia. Thanks for stopping by. But I'm going to actually have to head on out of here to Harris Gold Label in Australia. That's a good alternative to Crossfire if you can't get Crossfire. But Brad says, do not use repellents in apartments. Oh, I agree with that. That's right. Brad's right. Do not use repellents in apartments. You will just send them to your neighbors. Your neighbors using repellents could infest your apartment. That is absolutely correct. But in a single-family home, you can actually get rid of bed bugs with repellents. I don't recommend repellents. They're not as successful as other pesticides. They won't work as quickly, and you won't be happy. My goal in my business is I want happy customers. And the way you get happy customers is you service their home, you get rid of their problem, and they fire you because you got rid of their problem. But then they tell their friends, and they tell their family, they tell everybody about you because you solved their problem. If someone comes to them and they say, who did you hire to kill your ants? Who did you hire to kill your roaches? Who did you hire to kill your bed bugs? Oh, I hired Jason. He's great. Hire him. Don't hire anybody else but him. Because he does the job right. He doesn't care if you fire him. He just wants to make sure your bugs are dead. And that's all I want. And if you're going to do it yourself, I want to make sure you're able to do it successfully. And I got hundreds of videos. And if you have a question or anything, like I said, join the Discord. Hit me up on Discord. Like I found the link, no problem. And I sent, several links out tonight in the live stream. Sent them out to people so they knew how to get rid of their bugs and stuff. And don't forget to like the videos. There are 22 people watching, 27 likes. Wow, that's pretty good ratio right there. So, but I am actually going to get out of here. I am going to head on to bed. I am tired and spend some time with the wife tonight before I have to get up tomorrow and get back to the grind of things, because all the kids are asleep now. They're all sleeping and very peaceful, quiet. And hopefully I'll be able to jump on here next Thursday and we'll do another live stream and I'll answer any questions that you've got. I'm always here to do anything, try to talk to you. I didn't have any calls tonight. I didn't hear it ring. It doesn't say I have any missed calls. So maybe next week. Y'all have a good night. I really appreciate it. And like I said, hit me up Tuesdays. Don't forget, I got videos go live every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. So y'all have a good one. I appreciate it. See you later. Bye.